All right. In case you missed it, my name is Kate. I'm going to be going over designs with you today. With that being said, we are going to take a look at creating an email signature in Command. We're also going to take a look at creating a social media post and how to actually post that to your social platforms through Command. So the first thing we want to do is head over to Command. Now, I'm already logged in. But if you're not, your screen will look like this one here. So to access Command, you'll go to agent.kw.com. I did just drop that in the chat for you guys as well. But once you're here, log in, username, password. Your username is not case sensitive. So if you don't have capitals, it's not going to impact you. However, your password is case sensitive. And also sometimes if you're copying and pasting a password, if it has a space at the end, it will also cause your password to fail. So make sure you hit that little eyeball, make sure there's no spaces before or after the password and that your capitals and everything are there. And then you can go ahead and hit sign in. Now, once you're logged in, your home screen can look slightly different from mine, and that is totally okay. These home screens are slightly customizable, so you can change the appearance of them just a little bit. So yours may have some different things at the top, and that's totally fine. For today's class, though, the first thing we want to take a look at, though, is in the designs applets. So we're going to hover over these over here. And when you hover over them, they're going to tell you what each of those specific applets is. You can also hit the red and white KW to expand that and just view what those are. Designs is going to look like a little paintbrush with a canvas behind it or piece of paper. So we're going to head into that one. Now from here, the first thing I like to take a look at is putting in our assets. So to do that, I'm going to head, and this screen can also look different. So if you guys are on your screen and yours doesn't have the same, these are designs that I've created in my Command. That's why they're showing them. But to take a look at our assets, we're going to hit Import Designs over here in the top right corner. And we'll give that just a second to load. All right. Now, once that loads, it's going to bring us into My Projects again. As you can see, that's where it brought me into. But I can also go to the right and take a look at assets. So when I say assets, these are going to kind of be your library of things that you use. And with that, there are two different categories. So there is the Keller Williams Realty assets. There's also My Assets. So we're going to go through the KWRI ones, and then we'll take a look at mine. But up here for KWRI, you have their assets. So for colors and fonts, this is going to provide you with KWRI's preferred color palette so that you're getting their exact colors. It's also going to give you their preferred fonts. That's not to say that you have to use these. Then we go to images. It's going to give you some stock images. So you're going to have some various photos for all different kinds of things. From market expert to miscellaneous, you have some holiday ones. And there should be more loading in a second, but we'll go back. House interiors, you have exteriors down here, lifestyle, neighborhoods, etc. So these are all stock images that you can use for your various designs. Next, we have text. Now with the text, their asset is going to be the ownership statement that each office is independently owned and operated. And then we have logos. Now with the logos, they're going to have the KW University logos. Events is going to be like Red Day. Luxury logos. You have miscellaneous, which is going to be your equal housing opportunity and your NAR logo. Labs. You have some generic KW logos that you can use on different pieces of marketing. I keep checking this one. They just recently added this one, but I haven't seen anything in it yet. So hopefully that's coming. Elements. Elements are kind of like symbols or icons that you're using on a lot of your marketing. So having pieces of photos or icons, whatever, in your assets makes it easier for you to pull those into your designs. when you're using them often. So that's kind of the purpose of these. You're putting your phone number and email and thing on a lot of your marketing. So those icons come in handy. If there's any videos that you'd like to add to your assets, and then there are also files. And as you can see, KW has their style guide and design addendum in here. Moving along though, you have your assets. And with that, you also get the same categories. So you get colors and fonts. So this is great if you are a creature of habit and you like to keep your marketing consistent. If you have a set color scheme that you like to use, you can create a color palette in here in your assets that you can use that for all of your marketing. You just do add a palette and then you just start picking your colors. So we'll just go with some pinks today. You can add as many as you want. You don't have to fill this whole thing if you don't want to. It's kind of up to you. If you want to do 3 or if you just want to do 4, you can, or you can pick as many as you want. You can also use your dropper to pick colors if you have them somewhere else. And then once you're done with that, you can rename it, delete it if you decide you're not using it anymore. But this will allow you to easily pull these colors into your designs for text, font, etc. You can also pull in your own fonts. So if you're using a font on a regular basis, you can either upload one or you can just find one by hitting the web fonts and it will give you a bunch of different fonts that you can choose from. We'll just come in here and pick one today. I'll just go with this one here. And then once that refreshes, it will go ahead and add that right into here. So it's the first one. Now you also have images. So images would be a great place to add your logo or any photo or design that you're using on a regular basis. So if you're adding your QR codes to pieces of designs on a regular basis and you want those in your assets, that would be a great place to put that. Of course, your headshot, you're using those often if you have a team or whatever, you can add all of those. You can also have folders where you can have different photos. You can even remove the background from your photo for different pieces of marketing. Once you upload your headshot, you can just click on those 3 dots and you do have a ton of different options here, but you can remove the background. As you can see down here, it's in the process and then it adds that photo right there without the background. So great little tip if you're using that. Next, we have text. So you can create your own assets with text. Think of this as things that you're putting on your social posts, your flyers, anything like that that you're using often. So if you're putting your app code or if you're having to put your license number, things like that, and you don't want to have to remember it or type it out for every piece of design that you're creating, you can add those in here. Website, phone numbers, URLs, etc. You can add all of them in your assets so they can easily be pulled into your designs. Next, we have logos. Now, this is a great place to add your Market Center specific logo, or if you have branded yourself as a team or a solo agent and you have your own logo, you can also add those in here. You can add folders for the various types of logos that you have. And then really quickly, I will show you guys how you can find your Market Center specific logo if you don't have it. So to find your own logo for your Market Center, you'll come to kwconnect.com. Now this is different from the Connect that's in Command. It's a totally different website. But once you're logged in, you'll go to Resources, and then if you come down to Marketing, and then once you get on the marketing page, the first one's logos and branding. So that's the one we want to take a look at. Now you'll see as you scroll down, there's a little search bar here where you can search by Market Center number or name. This will allow you to find your Market Center specific logo. I'm just typing in a random number today. It will allow you to preview that, make sure that's the correct one. If it's not, you can change it. And then here we have a couple so we can see which one is our specific logo. Take a look. And then we can download that folder. Now, once that folder downloads to our computer, we can open that up. Give me 1 second, I'll pull that over for you guys. So here's our new folder with the logos. Now I'm going to take a look at the CMYK and the black and white. When I click on that, you'll notice that I have a few different color options and formats of the logo. So I have one that has a background behind the logo. I also have ones that have no background. So those are going to be transparent on whatever I put them on. I can also go back and check out those black and white ones. And you'll see the same thing. I have one with the white background, I have the different color schemes, and then I have some different formats. Now I do want to mention not all market centers have all of the same logos. I have seen where some of them don't have all of the color variations. So if you're seeing that in your folder, your market center probably just didn't offer to do that specific one. It could be due to local laws or something like that, but not all of them have the exact same options. We'll go back to command though, and now I want to go ahead and add these in. So I'm going to grab this market center name, and I like to just add a new folder. And then we have the folder here, and I can go ahead and upload all of those different formats and colors. So if I come in here, I can grab all of these. And then I have those three. I can do add more or upload, whichever one, but I'm going to add more and grab those other colors. I'm going to grab all of these. Now that we have all of them, I'm going to go ahead and do upload. And now you see I have all of my logos in my folder. I can easily pull these in to whatever marketing I'm creating based on the background that I'm using, because obviously not all colors show up well on the different backgrounds. So it's great to have options. Next is elements. Same thing if you have your own symbols or icons that you're using often. Maybe it's the same as the KW, but in a different color. You can add those here. Videos, and then of course, files can be added as well. Now, once you have all of your assets ready to go, we can go ahead and go into templates. Now, once we're in templates, and actually it took me to projects, so let's click that again. Once we're in templates, this is where you can find the pre-made templates provided by KW to allow you to customize those and use those yourself. So once you're in here, you'll see on the left-hand side, we have a ton of different categories. And within those categories, we're going to have subcategories. So for example, if we click listings, you're going to have the option for coming soon, for sale, and so on. And each of them are going to look slightly different. However, a lot of them are very similar. So that is not to say if you find something under the for sale that you want to use for an open house, you can't use it. You can absolutely customize it to use it for whatever you want. These are just the pre-made templates that they've set out. You'll also notice when you're looking up here, you're going to have different sizes. So if you're creating a flyer, you may want to look at those specific flyers versus if we're creating something for social media like we're going to be doing today, we probably want to use more of a social sized image. So you'd probably want to move more into this category. There's also, like I said, buyer. You have a ton of, you have categories here. Business basics. This is where you're going to find your email signatures, business card templates, if you're looking for letterheads, social branding. So if you just need a new cover photo for Facebook, you can come here. They also have Twitter and LinkedIn. You can also find Zoom backgrounds. So if you are on Zoom often and you don't want your background to show, you can come in here and grab one from their provided designs. We have holidays, and they're always adding holidays in here and different types of designs. So you can always come in here and check these out as well and get them set up to post. Luxury, they have some land, commercial, and then of course sports and entertainment, KW Worldwide. And then they do recently have some Spanish graphics as well. So if that is right up your alley, you can come in here and find those. And they will be filled with the Spanish language, so you can easily access those and edit those. Moving back up though, let's go ahead and take a look at the email signature and getting one of those customized. So they only have two options. You can pick whichever one you want. You can still customize it as you would like. We're gonna go ahead and go with the red one today. I'm gonna hit use. And once I do that, it brings me into the WeBrand editor. So this is where I actually customize the design. Now we'll kind of just go through all of the pieces on here first. The first thing I want to take a look at is the images. So as you can see, we have stock images from the internet. We also have Workspace. Now, we went over the assets before, but this is where you're going to find those KWRI provided assets. So as you can see, it's a lot of those same photos that we saw when we were looking at those. And then, of course, you have my assets. So we can go ahead and pop Scott's photo into this really quick. So we have his photo right there. Now, all I did to swap that out was I clicked on the photo that we had. I'll undo that real quick. So I clicked on the photo, and then when I hover over Scott's photo on the left-hand side, if you use this little double arrow, it's going to replace the photo in that exact little space. So a great way to just easily swap it out. We could also use the no background if we wanted to, but with the red, I think it looks a little strange. So now, once you have your photo in there, if you still think that you need to crop it or resize it, you can double click. You can zoom in, move it around. Once you have it how you want it, go ahead and hit done. And then we can start editing the rest. So next thing we want to do is this logo. And you will find sometimes the designs get a little finicky and hard to click on. You can zoom in, zoom out till you click on the piece that you're looking for. But I clicked on the logo there. So now we're going to go ahead and go to my assets. And we're just going to swap this one out. Now I could use one of these other ones, but the red KW is going to be really hard to see if I use that. So I'm going to stick with the all white one. I think it's going to look the best. I'm doing the same thing, just using the double arrow to swap that logo out. And then we can start editing the rest of it. I'm not sure why there's a box right there. So we can go ahead and change the name, and I'm just double clicking on that to change it. There is another way you can change that. If you click on the text and then you can hit the typewriter right here, it will open a box and you can start typing your information there. Hit save. Now we can also use our assets. So if we have the address, I don't think I have my address for the office typed here, but if I did have my address, I could do the same thing. I could just replace, and it will put that piece of text right there. Now, with that being said, you do sometimes get a box like this that has multiple pieces of information. If I wanted to switch my phone number with that, it's going to replace the entire text field. So there are going to be certain situations where you may want to just manually edit that. And you can do that by either double clicking or using that typewriter again. So we'll just put in some numbers here. Oops. That. And then we can, of course, add our website. I can't type when people are watching me. Don't know about anyone else. And now we have all of our information updated right there. Now, the next thing we can do is update our download my app. Now, this won't be clickable when I download this because it's a flat image. So you can use your app link if you have it, or you could use the QR code if you'd like to do that instead. If you need a QR code made, you can definitely email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. We'd be happy to create one. However, if you onboarded recently, you should have one in your setup. So just keep that in mind. To add that, I just clicked on the image and then I can go ahead and add this here. And again, these signatures are created, but they are fully customizable. So you can edit any of the information you'd like and change the colors. Just make sure when you're doing that, you are within your compliance, following your local laws and guidelines. We don't want anybody getting in trouble. But you can certainly rearrange this. If I could click on Scott's name. doesn't like me right now. Let me click on it earlier. We'll just move this one down. I'm just showing you guys that you can certainly customize these if you don't like how it is set up. Also, we get people asking about this line all the time. You can certainly delete it or just move it over so that it's not on the photo. Move it up, however you want. You can also change the background of this if you'd like. So it is currently on red, but if you're trying to keep within your branding, if you've branded yourself again with those colors or anything, you can certainly change that here. If I click the library, and then I can find the different palettes, including the one that we created today. So I can certainly change that and make that whatever color I want. And then once we're done with this, and we're happy with how it looks, we can certainly download it. You can also change like the text. If you'd like to change text, I would change Scott's name if I could click on it. But you could do that by clicking on that and then finding the text that you're looking for. You can also find different font languages, recent fonts. You just search through till you find one that you like and go ahead and change that. Size can be adjusted, of course. Make it bigger. We don't need it that big. And put back. And then if you want to change the color of the text, that can be done as well by clicking right here. Change that color again. If you want to make it bold, italic, all of those same options are going to be available. If something is in the wrong place and you need to change the layer order, move it down. Let's see if that fixes this. Nope, still doesn't like me today. Anyways, once we are done with this signature, we can go ahead and download it. So I'm going to hit the download button. And again, you're going to want to keep this as a PNG or a JPEG. It's going to be a flat image because it's going into an email signature. So I'm just going to leave it as we'll do it as a PNG. And download, and it's coming into my downloads here. Now I'm going to go over how to add this to your email, but before we do that, we do like to add it to imgur.com. This just allows it to, it's supposed to allow it to show up on both your phone and your computer. In all cases, it does not work for every phone. So just keep that in mind if it's not working for you. But also we do see sometimes when you're just adding a flat image to your email signatures, they kind of disappear after a while. So doing it this way, we found that it prevents that from happening. So again, it's just imgur.com. I'll post that website link in the chat. And then I'm just going to drag my email signature that I downloaded right into here. When I do that, I'm going to open it in a new tab. And I'm going to use the image address to add that to my email signature. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and get my KW email open so we can add it to our settings. So your KW email should be the exact same as your Gmail. Once you're logged in, it will look pretty similar to this, and you can go ahead and click the little gear up here for settings. And from there, if we do see all settings and scroll down till we get to signature, yours is probably going to be empty, so you're probably not going to have anything here. I have a bunch because I add one every class. But yours will probably look more like this. So you'll just do create new. And from there, I'm going to name this 8/1/24 for today's date. And then we're going to click this little insert image that looks kind of like a photo. From there, if we do web address URL, we just had that link. So we're going to go ahead and paste. And as you can see, it puts my email signature right there. Go ahead and select. And then I can, of course, resize that if I want it to be large, medium, original. I think it looks good right there and pretty legible, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it. You can, of course, make the letters bigger on your email signature if you'd like. And then the last step that you want to do to make sure this is turned on is you want to go ahead and turn on for new email use. So you're going to select the email signature. And then if you want it to also show up when you're replying or forwarding emails, so you just turn that on as well. Once that is turned on, you just scroll down and hit save. And then if we do compose, you'll see that our signature pops up right there. And we are good to go. And I'm keeping an eye on the chat. I don't see any questions, so we're going to keep moving. But if anybody has questions as we are going through all of this, just go ahead and drop those in the chat. And then we should have some time at the end as well. Let's close some of these down. All right. Now I'm going to hit done. Now my email signature is going to stay in my design. So if I need to come back and change this, if something was typed wrong or something was not in compliance after I checked with my broker in charge, I can always have this here to edit. Let's say it's 2 years later, I got a new headshot. I want to update that. I still have access to that to come in and edit it and create it the same way. Now we're going to move into a social design. So we're in the designs applet right here on this main page. We're going to go ahead and do create design. And then we're going to pick social. Now we have classes on these other categories. If you're interested in those, you can definitely check out YouTube or join one of our other classes. Usually we go over these other items on Thursdays. Now you'll notice that I'm brought into the same template section I was when I hit import. So there's a couple ways you can get to the templates. But once we're in here, we're going to go ahead and do we'll just do an open house one. And I'm going to do the social squares. I like to do the square. I think that it translates to all of the various social media platforms the best, whether you're posting on Instagram or Facebook or even Twitter. The sizing of that one tends to be the best. Once we're there, though, we pick whichever one we want to use. So let's say we're going to do this Your Invited one. I'm going to hit use again. And again, brought into the WeBrand editor so that I can start making changes. So we'll go ahead and get started. And we can also change this background back here, as you can see. I don't think that shifted it too much. Maybe that one can't be adjusted, but the text can. So we can go ahead and change that text. Go ahead and grab our pink one again, just in case. You're invited, so we can go ahead and put open house. We're just going to do 123 Main Street today. Join us. Let's do that this weekend. The 4th. Join us. Oops. Twelve to 2 p.m. And if you don't like these on the same line, you can certainly put them on 2 separate. You can also change the alignment if you want those in the center. Again, you get to visually set these up the way that you want to. Now, when we replace our photo, the best way to grab the listing photo from the MLS is by using the KWLS over here. Then you have listings, and then if you use these little filters, you can search by the address, the MLS number, KWLS ID, the listing agent, or the co-listing agent. We're just going to type this and grab whichever one comes up. We'll go with this one. And I'm clicked on that photo. So again, if I just do replace, it's going to put that photo perfectly into that little box. Oops. Now I could still resize that again, same as before. If I need to adjust it, I can certainly do that. It's not letting me make it smaller, but that's okay. We'll just move it right to the center. Well done. We'll go ahead and swap our logo out. Do the same thing. And then this is another place where you can kind of get a little creative if you're wanting to add some additional information. I like to show how you can add your photo. So when you're not clicked on the text or any of the images, you'll see that the bar up here changes. Frames will allow you to add a photo into a circle, square, or any of these other shapes. So we could go ahead and move this down and put our agent information. We can actually put it over here and then move our logo so that we can use that box to put our agent information. So we'll go back and we'll grab Scott's photo. Now that we're clicked on that circle, we can go ahead and hit replace. And again, put Scott into that perfect little circle. And then again, you can still resize it if you need to. Now from there, if we want to add our own text, you can come in here and go ahead and hit add text. You can also come into the assets and go ahead and start adding those. It will put them on there. Now, I don't need that specifically, so we'll go ahead and do name. And we'll actually switch Scott. We'll put me since we got all my info. Cut my head off. Go back to our text, and then we can start putting in the rest of our information. So whatever you want to add here, if you want to also add your email, we'll grab the phone number up here. And of course, you could certainly resize these if they're kind of looking too big. Let's make them all the same size. You can change the font again if you want to, or the color, all of that stuff can be adjusted. We'll go ahead and switch it up. And of course, if you don't like how the phone number is pulling, you can also adjust that. You can do it from within your actual profile or just edit it here. If you change it in your assets, though, it will probably be the best because then it will pull for all of it. Okay. And then let's see, we want to also throw in a QR code. We can go ahead and grab that too. Let's say we want to send them to our website though, and not our app. Or even if you created a open house sign-in sheet and you want to create a QR code for that, you can certainly create a QR code for that. That way, when they go into your command, you know that they came from that specific open house because it will register the address from that sign-in sheet. So that would be a great way to post this, or at least you would know they were interested in that specific property. But if we like this, we're ready to go. We can go ahead and get this ready to post to social media. Now, one thing I like to mention here is that you also have the option to create animation within these. And since you are posting to social media, you can certainly add animation. So if you wanted this to spin in or bounce in, whatever you want, you can certainly do that. Wherever you want to. If there's a couple of things you wanted to do or just one, that can also be added. Now, the only thing there is when you download this, you don't want to do it as a JPEG or a PNG. So we'll take a look at how to do that. But once our open house is good to go, we want to go ahead and advertise this. We'll do download. And then, like I said, we can do it as a PNG, as a flat image. That will not play the animation. But we also can download this as a video and GIF. So if we click that, and then we do download, we'll have both options. Now, once our graphic is created and good to go, we can go ahead and hit done. And then from there, if we do want to go ahead and post this to social media from our command, we can go ahead and go into campaigns. Now from here, you're in your campaigns for all of your various different ways you can post them. So you have the option for paid advertisements, emails, direct mailers, or social posts. Now, social posts is what we're going to take a look at today. This is the dashboard, so it will allow you to schedule out posts for as far as you want. Don't generally recommend scheduling out too far, but if you want to create your entire month's worth of social posts, you can certainly come in here and do that. You can also edit them as you do them. But it'll also just allow you to see, what you have coming up. It'll allow you to see which channels. So if you're doing Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, It does also have some little quick posts over here that are already created with photos and text that you can quickly share and go ahead and post those to your social media. So just keep that in mind. There's not a ton of them, but there are a few that you can use. We're going to go ahead and do create a campaign. And again, we're doing social posts. I like to mention the difference. Social posts is going to be advertised to people that already follow you. They like your page or something like that. Whereas paid for ad is going to people that don't follow you, don't know you, and that's trying to generate new business, new leads, new contacts. Now, once we're in here, create, you're going to select the channels that you want to post to. So you can select as many as you want. You do have to connect these within your settings, so make sure that's done first. It does have to be a business page in order for you to connect to it. Facebook does have very strict rules as far as advertising on your personal page. So you do not have an option to connect to a personal page through this. But next we have the content. So this is where you'll add your text as well as your media. We find that a lot of issues come when you're trying to select the design from Designs itself. So it is easier to download and then upload. The problem is that they're technically two different platforms. It's WeBrand and Command, so it doesn't translate quite as well as it should. Hopefully they get that adjusted. We'll go ahead and grab our photo right here though. Now, once we have it, it's going to show me that that is the best. There's also free and wide, which will allow you to adjust that how you want it. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as the square. And as you can see, it's in that little box. So I'm going to go ahead and hit crop. And now over here on the right, I can see my preview of that post, both on Facebook and on Instagram. So I can see that they look slightly different because Instagram has the text at the bottom, whereas Facebook is at the top. But other than that, they're basically the same. You can also put in your text that you want included. We'll just keep it simple for today. If you want to add any GIFs or emojis, I'm sorry, you can certainly add those. And those will show up in real time over here so that you can see that as well. Now, if we want to do the photo or the video instead, we can just remove that and grab, actually, did it download the video? You might not have downloaded that. Let's go back. Oops, clicking the wrong things, you guys. Agent, not Amazon. Go back to our designs. All right, let's see if we still have our animation. Go ahead and play. Perfect. Download. Maybe I didn't let it download all the way. So as you can see down here, I may have closed out before it was finished. It's downloading that. So it does take a little longer when it's a video. So we'll give it 1 minute. Now we have it. All right. Now we have our video. So as you can see, it now has a little play button. We can go ahead and play that. It will show the animation. I kept it really simple, so nothing crazy over there. But if we are good with this and we're happy with our design, we can go ahead and either schedule this to post at a specific date and time. So if we want it to go out whenever, you can pick whichever day you'd like. You can also adjust your time. And you can schedule that. So if I set it for the 4th, obviously I don't want it for the 4th at 5 p.m. because the open house will be over, but I'm just going to cancel this. So just showing you how to do it. You can also go ahead and select publish immediately, and that will post it directly to the platforms. And we also have the option to save the draft if we want to come back to it later, or go ahead and schedule the post. Again, it's going to give me another preview of what that looks like. And I can go ahead and hit schedule. Now from there, I can still view it. I just need to find the correct date. So if I click next, You'll see Sunday, August 4th, it shows I have a post for Facebook and Instagram. And if I come down, I will see that post as well as the accounts it's being posted to and how many channels, time, date it's posting, etc. As this is posted, some of this other information will start to populate so that you can see it. I'm going to go ahead and delete this post because I don't want it to actually post. And then there's one last thing since we have some time that I'm going to show you guys, and that is how to create a quick little video for social posts as well. So we're going to go back to designs for this one. And from there, we're going to do create, and we're going to take a look at video. Now, there's not a ton to this video, so that's perfectly okay. You select a neighborhood. Oops. And then it will pull up and you can select the exact neighborhood you're looking for. So we're just going to go ahead and pick one of these. We'll do this one here. Actually, we'll just go with this one. And we're going to hit next. Now, once I do that, it's going to pull up the information for that area. So it's going to give me the average home price. Average home prices are, and I can pick on the rise, on the decline, holding steady. It should populate those, but if you need to adjust them or want to adjust them, you certainly can. Average price per square foot, number of homes for sale, days on market. It does give you some top 3 neighborhood like features. Sorry, trying to find my words here. Then it will pull your information from your marketing profile so that if that is not showing, you can plug that in. You have market center information, again, pulling from your marketing profile. And then if we hit next, it's going to create a quick little video that we can then post to social media. Now, again, not a lot of customization for this video because it is pulling most of that information for you. However, it's a great way to highlight some little neighborhoods that you may focus on in a quick little video. So it made that. We'll go ahead and hit play really quick so we can take a look at it. All right. So that's a short little video. You can save it and then you can post this to social media the same way that we did for the other graphic today. So that is the end of our class. I'm going to go ahead and stop record. We do have some time left. So if there are any questions, hang around. Go ahead and drop those in the chat. We can go through them. And if you don't have any questions, thank you so much for joining today. I hope we will see you for another class and have a great rest of your week.